Blind playthrough is now offensive on Twitch. What's your opinion? Blind playthrough is now offensive on Twitch. Is that really true, or is that not true? That sounds like something that's not true, because that sounds like something that's stupid. Yeah, what do you guys think? It is true? That is true. Twitch removes blind playthrough tag for being offensive to blind people. Okay, so let's see what this is. Happy to see Twitch has listened to everyone and who shared feedback and removed the blind playthrough tag to encourage more inclusive language for our community. You can still use the first playthrough or opt in to use it in combination with no spoilers for the same sentiment. Well, thank God. You know, every single time that I did a blind playthrough of a game, the goal of that word was to degrade people with disabilities. I want to let you know that. It wasn't because it was a metaphor that was used in the English language for thousands of years. Of course not. The sole and only goal of me using the word blind playthrough was to degrade people with disabilities. Because I am a terrible person, and that was my only intent whenever I did that thing. This is stupid. The English language is a living, forming, changing language every single day. Metaphors are used in multiple ways. And just because somebody categorizes themselves as blind doesn't mean that they have a monopoly over the word blind and the way that it's used. It's used as a metaphor to describe not being able to see something. This is a ridiculous thing. This is a ridiculous oversight. This is a ridiculous level of control that's being executed through people who want to live basically in a world where they get to control other people's language. It's crazy. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine thinking that this is helping anybody. And this is what's the stupid thing about it is. Now, I remember seeing the picture of SpongeBob and Patrick in front of Bikini Bottom, and Bikini Bottom's on fire, and they said, "Yay, we saved the city." These are people that want to have the they want to have the acknowledgement, and they want to be recognized for being forward-thinking and progressive thinkers without actually doing any progressive thinking. Because the reality is that this is not progressive thinking. This is regressive thinking. This is correlating a language that has multiple meanings, that's been used in different ways for thousands of years, and relegating it down to one definition, and then assuming intent behind that one definition, and then getting mad, and then wanting censorship based off of the assumed intent of the definition, which indirectly means that the people that were using the word in that wrong definition in their eyes are then therefore degrading people with disabilities. This is ridiculous. Twitch should be ashamed of themselves for bowing down to people like this who want to have all of the approval while doing none of the work. Let me see here. That's why they banned Forsen. All of his playthroughs were blind. I mean, honestly, I think that if in 3 years, if Forsen did the same Ugandan trolling that he did with PUBG, they probably would have banned him or suspended him. I would not be surprised about that at all. I'm glad Twitch is fixing the important issues that plague the platform. Well, maybe the reason they're doing this is so people can't say that Twitch is blind to the DMCA problem. I guess that must be what it is. Because if you just ban the word, and you ban the usage of the word in that way, then the problem's solved. Wow. I can't believe it. Good job, Twitch. Smart. And what I really find particularly insulting about this is the implication that the usage of the word blind, whenever I would use it, was used with any degree of ill will towards a person with a disability. Because that's what the implication behind this is, which to me is absolutely disgusting and presumptuous. I don't like this at all. And there's also, here's the thing, there's a lot of words that you can use that are used in that were initially created. Like, I think moron is one of them. And mute is another one too. But I think moron is probably a much more prevalent one. And the word moron And I think there's a few other ones. Dumb, is dumb one of them? I'm not sure, actually. There's a few. Idiot, yes, idiot is another one. All of these are technically ableist slurs because I believe that they were originally created as medical terms in order to refer to people of different IQ levels. So if you want to get rid of these words, get ready, guys, because we're going to have a really fun next 10 years. It's opaque? Yeah, well, opaque could make fun of people with cataracts, too, so you're fucking banned. Let's go ahead and read the rest of these. Rip Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori in the first playthrough Forest. Apparently saying going in blind is problematic according to this person. As a fat person, I demand they remove the term speed run as my fat ass can't run. It's not inclusive at all. Yeah, here's the thing, right, is that these are people that want to change reality and change the ways that you can talk about reality to reinforce their worldview that may or may not be correct. I think that in a lot of ways, I'm probably one of the more progressive people on the website. I'm very open and I'm very accepting of people wanting to do what they want to do. I am totally okay with people doing things and expressing themselves in good ways. And no, this is completely true. Like this, you guys cap this, but it's fucking true. Like I have lost so many fans of people that got mad whenever I made a statement about something because it didn't fit with their worldview in that direction. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Whenever the Pokemon drama thing happened, I talked about that. I lost a lot of fans because of that. But in my opinion, fuck them. Like if I'm right about something, if I'm speaking the truth about something, I'm not gonna just change my mind or not speak about it because of some stupid moron, right? Oh. I'm done. I'm not one way or another way, right? I'm gonna look at something, I'm gonna make an evaluation, I'm gonna say if this is right or wrong, and I think this is fucking wrong. Like I'm not even one of these crazy people. Like I just want to, I want to be able to talk about things. I want to have honest conversations and I want to be able to just kind of relax. And I feel like with people like this, you can never fucking relax because you don't know when they're going to decide to go and, you know, I'm sorry, my ego's feeling pretty low. My self-esteem is pretty low. I need more virtue signaling points on Twitter. I'm going to point out something bad that you did 8 years ago so that people can like my tweet. And then after the tweet gets enough likes and traction under it, I'm going to post as a reply to my own tweet, my Cash App link or my PayPal because I want people to give me money because I just exposed you for something that you don't even believe anymore. So these types of people are parasites. They are parasites, and they are parasites in the very, very clear and obvious definition of the word. They latch themselves onto something, and then they take away from it. That is what they do. The word has multiple meanings and phrases. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is that there's a lot of these phrases, and I think some of the phrases are kind of, some phrases can be bad. It depends on what they are. And so I'll use an example. So the word autistic, it's not against the TOS to use autistic in any way that it's not against the TOS to use retard. So I stopped using the word autistic because I felt like it was just a shitty word to use, right? And I think that's really what it came down to. Like, I thought it was, it's unclear what autistic means. Does autistic mean bad social skills? Does it mean, you know, heavy focus on one element of the game? You know, what does this really mean? And I felt like I was using the word in a derogatory term. And I think that, like, the usage of the word was kind of just eliciting negative emotions and negative sentiment towards people that were actually autistic or had Asperger's or something like that. And so Spurg is also an offensive term. Well, I think that Spurg is a separate word now at this point. I think that people say Spurg and nobody thinks Asperger's. So I think the word is fine. But the difference is autistic is literally the exact same word that's used. And I don't necessarily agree with using it. I don't think other people are assholes for using it, right? I think they should be able to use it. But for me personally, I stopped using it because I felt like it was unclear and it was an open-ended interpretation of what that really meant. And I thought it was just bad language. And so I stopped using the word. And that's something that I did. It's not because Twitch messaged me. It's not because anybody messaged me about this. There are some people that would say, oh, I don't like this, but who gives a fuck about them? It's because I thought about it myself and I came to the conclusion independently. And that's how you actually make change. Because the way that that change happens is it happens in the marketplace of ideas, not through some sort of corporatocracy that's being used in order to somehow mask themselves from their obvious shortcomings with DMCA and other massive mistakes that they've made just in the past 6 months. Click on the Twitch staff picture. Why would you want me to do that? So you can make fun of the way that she looks? Why would that matter in the conversation? Get the fuck out of here, you moron. Banned again. I don't understand people like this. Of course, no. Here's what you need. Here's how to understand people like this. If you're a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. These people look for problems like this, and they try to solve problems like this so they can take credit and they can be perceived as virtuous and kind and good and progressive people. They're doing it in order to inflate their own egos. That's why they constantly tweet about it. That's why they try to attach themselves to these causes. That's why they do it for different types of likes. That's why they post on different comments and they try to get, you know, basically some sort of interactions out of this. These are people that are doing this for a very self-serving reason. I do not think that the majority of this is, it's not for anybody else's good except for their own. And if it is, their own good comes first, and then whatever else happens afterwards is, you know, good or not. Based on what evidence? Based off of my read on it after looking at these things from happening for the past 10, 15 years. Like, I know this might come as a surprise to you, but I don't have a magic portal into somebody's brain to read what they're saying. The only thing that I can do is look at what they do and recognize common patterns and then make assumptions based off of those common patterns. That's what we're all doing. And why is it a big deal? Something small that a small group appreciates? The reason why it's a big deal is it's a small chunk out of the acceptable language that's used in terms of conversation, and then it relegates the language that you can use slightly down, and it then makes other people have to change the way that they speak for a perceived problem that's not really very tangible for most people. But the reason why it's a big deal is because it's the precedent that something like this sets, that a person like this with relatively no outcry or concern about this can then change the direction of a multi-billion-dollar company based off of an implication. And also the fact that it's reductive to our language in general. Nobody means this whenever they say blind playthrough. Nobody means this whenever they say they're blind to the truth. Nobody means this. And so them banning it implies that you do mean it. That's why it's wrong. And that's why everybody should be against this. And I'm not going to say should. Actually, let me go back. I will not say should. I am against this, and I think other people should agree with me. And this is why I think they should agree with me. Sometimes intent isn't all that matters. We can be clear in our language without co-opting terms associated with disabilities and traumatic events. No, I don't really think so. It's not about empathy. And doesn't empathy go both ways, right? So like if you want to talk about using empathy, and I'm going to read these donations and then we can move on, right? And if you want to talk about using empathy, how is it not also just the same exact argument that you can use that you're not using empathy whenever you're saying that a person that's using a word should stop using that word because you've decided that it's offensive to somebody else? How is that not empathetic in itself, or a lack of empathy as well? It's the tyranny of empathy from one direction, which is really what's happening here.
Who gives a shit? It's not against the rules. Unless it's against the rules, you don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
You can keep saying blind playthrough. You don't have to fucking list these fucking chuds, okay?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Fuck you, dude.
Dude, so no, it's not about that. Somebody in the chat said they're gonna have to rename Rogues Blind to Pocket Sands. To be more inclusive.
Clip it. Clip it. Clip it for 2 years from now. I want to see it. Yeah, clip it right now. I want to see that shit, man. He's really willing to die on that. I have the right to say retard hill, huh? No, it's more than... yeah.
I will. I don't know about you, but I will.
I want to be able to say what I want.
Suck my dick. How about that?
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, it's completely fucking fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Nah, it's too bad. Oh, I don't want people like you, fucking useless, meaningless busybodies going around and telling me what I can and can't say over some perceived fucking slight from a person that you don't even know. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Until they tell me I can't say it, I won't say it unless I change my mind on my own.
Blind.
Banned.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.